Okay, the spinning hook kick, or the Ushiro Mawashi, or some people call it the Ushiro Mawashi. So in this video, I'm going to break down the kick into smaller, manageable parts, so you can kind of help to learn the kick or to refine it if you already know it. A couple of training exercises for the kick and an application of it in kumite or in sparring. So the first thing we need to be able to do the spinning hook kick is the hook kick, or the Ura Mawashi. Now I've got a video going into more depth on this kick on this channel, so go and check that out if you want to see a full length video on it, but I'm going to go over it very quickly right now and give you the kind of basic points. So for the hook kick, the Ura Mawashi, I want to be chambering across the side of my body in the same way that I would for a side kick. So I'm taking the knee across the center line like a side kick position. I'm going to send a kick as if I'm missing a side kick over here, and then I'm going to hook back into the target. Now the contact point is either the heel for impact, for kind of knockout, or if we're in sparring and we want to, keep our training partners alive a little longer, then we use the bottom of the foot, okay, the sole of the foot, and sort of a softer impact, but still landing the kick, so we know we've landed. There's also another variation again for the sparring. If we are doing a hook kick in sparring, generally we will hook it back again, we will re-chamber after the kick. If we are doing it for damage, we will come all the way through and hook it past or through the head, through the target. Okay, so as with all kicks, we are re-chambering. So we chamber, meaning lift the knee, we send the kick, and we come back to that chamber position under control. Now the difficult part, of course, is the spin, because we are spinning and doing the hook kick at the same time. An exercise that I like to do is to simply just do the spin. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into that chamber position, and I'm going to spin and come back around again this way. Okay, one of the biggest mistakes that people tend to do when learning this kick is they send it too wide. They want to send the leg already in the extension, so they're trying to swing wide like this, and that's inviting someone to come in and sweep and take it down this way. It's also far less powerful. So the exercise again from here is spin on that front foot, ball of the foot, in the same way we would for an Ushiro. I'm spinning and chambering that leg, just doing a full 360 degrees. So again, just from here, just working on getting that faster and faster. Just rotating around into that sort of chamber position. Once we're confident with spinning and chambering that kick, then we can start letting the kick go. I'll first off start by talking about the kind of sparring version, the one where we are going to be retracting the kick and controlling it so as not to take the opponent's head off. So from here, same thing, we spin, and as I said, I want to keep it chambered. Okay, so we get to this chamber position, keeping that balance there. Extend the kick out wide and then hook through at the last second. Okay, so we want to spot the target. So if the target in front of me, I want to spin, see them here. That's when I let the kick go. So I let the kick go very late. I'm here, and then I let the kick out. One where I pull it back off the target will be here and stop, and one where I'll take it straight through. I'm going to add a little more hip to it and rotate all the way around. Okay, so again, if you are trying to control the kick, we want to kind of keep the hip back and do it by the extension or flexion of the knee. If we are doing it for impact, we want to be taking the hip through the target as we make impacts. So I'm going to do two versions of the kick now then. Like I said, the one where I'm stopping the kick short or just making a sort of a lighter impact on the opponent as we would do in sparring. And I'm going to do another one where I take it through the target if we are aiming for kind of a knockout situation. So the first one, I'm going to be working on stopping it short. So I come round and just a light touch. Yeah, so we're just getting that sort of slap onto the opponent's face really. Not too heavy with that impact for sparring purposes. Okay, so let's rotate and just a little touch there. The difference is that I'm touching and pulling back off again. So I'm kind of touching and pulling off. I'm still making contact, but I'm connecting and pulling away. Now the difference is for the knockout then is I'm going to take it straight through without any re-chamber. I'm going to come here and take it straight through the target's head. Okay, so I really want to get around and then draw this hip straight through into the target in order to make that heavy impact on the opponent. So how do we land this in kumite or in sparring? The way I'd like to do it really is make use of that spin. If we hit them a few times with an Ushiro first to kind of create a reaction where they're anticipating that spin and they're absorbing it, they're trying to cover their body up for that Ushiro, then we hook it into the open head there. So, like I say, if I'm working in sparring here, I'll hit him with a few back kicks first. Okay, so I'm just working on his back kicks, get that fast rotation and hit him with the back kick first. Okay, maybe one or two, 3 times, so he feels that and he's really conscious of that now. I'll test him, so I'll start to throw that hip, see how he reacts. If he starts bringing his hands down, Now it's game on, ready to go for it, okay? So if you just bring your hand up, please. Yeah, so now I've tested him. I've seen that hit. I've seen his reaction. I've feinted and I've seen him bring his hands down. So this time, I come around for the Ushiro Mawashi instead, okay? So I've started off by attacking low, getting a trained response where I'm getting him to be a bit wary of that lower kick, that back kick. And then at the last second, I've feinted, seen him doing that, and I've come around for the Ushiro Mawashi Geri instead, the hook kick. Now, when we learn a technique, we also have to understand how to defend against it, because then we understand the dangers of throwing a technique. You know, it's no good just blindly throwing it and thinking it's going to land every time. So we have to understand how it can be defended against in order to best learn how to deliver the kick, okay? So basically, what he wants to do then is he wants to move into my circle. As I start spinning, he moves in and catches that kick, so he closes the distance down and stops me from connecting with him. It's very important that he gets his head very close, because if his head's too far back and he still tries catching it, he's still going to get caught by that kick as it comes around. So he wants to close it right down so the kick is way past him. So as I go in, he's here and he's missed. I've missed the kick. And then he's obviously coming down for a takedown, and that's a bad situation for me. So what we know then, or what we learn from that knowledge, is that we need to know how to throw it. So like I said before, we want to condition him to react to the back kick instead, because now he's not going to try doing this. He's not going to move into a back kick because he's going to get caught. So I need to condition him to react to that back kick first, because he doesn't want to move in. If he moves in, he's going to get caught. So I want to get him wary of that, and then I can throw it up high and get that Ushiro into the open space there. So an exercise then we want to do to practice the hook in action is I'm going to take hold of the bar. My back foot is going to rotate away from the kicking position, so the target, okay? Toes facing the wall. And I'm going to, again, like I said, send that kick wide and hook back here. Wide, hook back into the target. Hook back into the target this way. So we can just train that hook in action, or hooking through the target if we want to do that way as well. Another way I like to use the wall to practice this kick is to, again, hold on to something here, get that chamber across, and just touch the wall from here. So I'm coming up, hooking round, just connecting with that wall, just practicing that control. This is again for the sparring type kick, like I said about here. Touch with the ball of the foot, and back. Touch and back. Obviously be careful, don't hit the wall too hard, because you're gonna probably injure yourself. So it's ball of the foot, light touch on the wall and come back off. So there you go. A few tips on how to do the Ushiro Mawashi Geri, or the hook kick, the spinning hook kick. If you enjoyed that, please subscribe to the channel. I also want to mention my partnership with Art Martial Clothing. They're a martial arts lifestyle brand. They do all kinds of martial arts designs on your t-shirts, hoodies, all your training gear and stuff. Really nice looking stuff. So I'll put a few images up on the screen, and I'll put a link in the description of this video and a discount code for you to get yourself 20% off. So go and check them out. So again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done, and I'll see you next time.